Crazy video, I know. I've been missing, I'll explain that. But we're gonna talk about fixing stuff. Disaster, fix. Crisis, fix. Disease, fix. Drought, fix. So I've been away for a month. This pond front got up to 3.5, almost 4 inches. I've cut it 5 times in 2 days, and I've taken it down to about 1/2 inch. I'm gonna show you the back, the perennial rye. That's sad. I'm gonna tell you, if there are any children in the room, have the children leave because it's disgusting. Anyways, crazy video. Here we go. I'll put everything up. The past several weeks, you guys know that I haven't been posting videos. There's a couple of reasons. Number one, of course, I've been traveling. I went down to the beach house. I abandoned that property for a year. I spent 4 weeks fixing the property, fixing the lawn, just doing catch-up stuff, doing repairs, doing just basic maintenance. And so I left this place for an entire month. John and Jeff came out here and basically just cut what needed to be cut. But it's funny how when you just walk away from a project, how things go downhill. They just automatically do. So I'm gonna show you that here in a second. But this video really is for my subscribers. I want to thank you guys for being patient. I do have, for weeks I've had this, it's called cervical radiculopathy. It's a pinched nerve, fancy word for it. And I'm pretty much over it, except for it's uncomfortable when I edit videos. So I've sort of had to push the pause button on editing. The problem is I've been shooting video for 6 weeks. So I've got like 30 hours of footage, and I've got about 31 videos to make. And it's just like, dude, you got to get up, you got to get, so I got a bunch of stuff I'm going to cover today in this video. I'm going to talk about, I'll show you some of the problems that I'm doing, some of the stuff I'm replacing, talk about, this is the push zone. So if you want to do anything, if you have a weak yard at all, June is the month. If you have a warm season grass, June is the month to get out and push it. And I'll show you why down at the beach house, I was putting out DGL, dark green lawn. I was putting out DGL every 5 days, a light coat. Watering, 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 light coat, watering, watering. And that yard down there turned from a piece of crap into right now, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's amazing. So anyways, I got a bunch of stuff. I'm going to throw it all together. Please excuse this video because it's not going to be all that entertaining. I have to talk a lot because I have to explain and tell you what's coming up. So here we go. So I think the best way for me to do this, it's early morning, and I think John's coming over. It's 7 o'clock. John's coming over about 8:30. Let me just walk around and show you what's going on. So if you know this backyard, we tried so many different things with this backyard at the farm property. And it just had so many problems, especially with disease. And one of the reasons why is because along this house, when we bought this property, there were 1, 2, 3, 4 stumps. And I swear to you, they were 4 to 5 feet across, the stumps. Those stumps all had to be ground out. And so there's a ton of wood chip in here. Then they brought this crappy soil out here because they didn't have topsoil. It had a whole bunch of wood chips in it. They called it garden soil. So I had to use that. I put that down. So I've got a ton of wood chips, which unfortunately is a great place for fungus. If you ever go to a wood chip pile, you'll see mushrooms and fungus growing on it. Same thing in your lawn. So I had an absolutely gorgeous perennial rye yard back here, but look at it now. Look at these spots. Now this is just sort of a rotting fungus. It's crazy. See the different colorations? See, I've got dark green here. I've got light green over here. Well, I've got a septic 1,000-gallon septic tank sitting over there. I've got a dog going poo. But I've got all these spots, these brown spots. So this is not going to withstand the summer heat. It's not going to take. So here's what we're going to do. I'm about to scalp this down, and we're going to put 2 types of Bermuda down here. I'm going to put a more fine Bermuda, and I'm going to put a common Bermuda. I just want to see what it'll take. This is just an area for the dogs to go pee and go poo. That's about it. So that's where this stands. So I'm going to be reseeding. June is a great time. If you need to reseed warm season grass, gosh, June is the perfect month. Let me go forward. I'm going to run through a bunch of stuff. So here we go. So we're going to have a new addition to the farm property. A lot of you guys kept saying, Doc, why don't you get chickens? Why don't you get chickens? Well, I knew I had a bunch of trips coming up to fix the beach house and things, so I didn't want to get them, but I'm here for a while. So let me show you real quick. I'm starting to set up my brooder boxes. I've got chickens coming. And the cool thing is I've been searching and searching and researching and thinking about chicken houses and what I wanted up here. We're gonna put it up in the vegetable garden and let them free range up here. I found a local company, and this is an interesting story of finding a niche. They found a niche for animal cages and coops, and they started in business 2 years ago, and all of a sudden they're crazy busy. Now they're building custom-made coops, and they do it out of pressure-treated wood, good pressure-treated wood, not the poisonous kind. And they come on site and they build it. And that's been one of the problems is I can order a kit, but I have to go out there and put it together. And with this thing, I'm really not wanting to do that. I just wanted to find someone to come out and build a coop, and these people do it. It's, that video, I'm gonna shoot it next week. It should be kind of cool. This over here was a nasty, nasty, just crap. Weeds, rocks, trash, all kinds of stuff. And if you remember, I came in here with a skid steer and I raked this. I put down a contractor mix and I put down clover, and look at it now. Isn't that gorgeous? That turned out so nice. We don't want to do anything special with this. I just wanted a clean looking area. I'm really happy with it. So let's walk over next and let's take a look at the pond front. So the pond front, if you remember, I put down a mix. I put down a fine Bermuda, but then I really put down a lot of this Scott's Bermuda seed, which is really a common Bermuda. Oh, there goes Fred, my blue heron. And this area is not bad. Now, I do have a little bit of fungus out here because here's what happened. When I left, I told the guys, well, let it come up some. So, because it's going to be kind of dry. Well, it ended up coming up to almost 3.5 inches. Oh, where can I pull it up? And it's just more of a real thick, rough grass. Because I've got all this brown stuff here, I think we're going to scalp this down pretty short. And I think I'm gonna treat this with the fungicide. I gotta read my fungicide and see if there's any problem with putting it on a pond. Next, let me show you the area next to the cabin. Okay, so we ran into a situation where we had tons of rain and rain and rain and rain, and then we had 2 weeks of basically no rain drought, very dry conditions. This over here, remember, this used to be woods. So that wood line over there used to be right here. And we had all the trees taken out when we cleared this land. Well, this soil is rock hard, and you can see the dead brown spots. It's sort of a slope hard. You can't get a screwdriver in that. But look at down where the land sort of mellows out down here. Beautiful green, beautiful green. So last week, right after a rain, which is when you want to do it, I had John run the core aerator over here. I put down some clover and some more of that common Bermuda seed. I just need roots in the ground. Next, there's a little white pipe sitting up over there. I'll show you this in a minute. We had, the past 2 summers, I have pumped pond water with a 2-inch high pressure pump 500 feet up to my fields, and I water my fields for my deer. Those fields are all planted for the wildlife, the deer and the turkey. And when a drought hits, which it will, come July, August, September, those fields will brown out unless I water them. And man, let me tell you what, when I water them, I have every deer from around here coming in there. It's crazy. So I had my well guys trench a 520-yard 2-inch PVC pipe underground. And I'm gonna be installing custom valves and headwork. So now all I got to do is I just pull this and I can go up there and I can switch the valves and change fields. I'll do a separate video for that. A lot of videos coming. Man, these fields look so nice. I can't tell you how nice they are. You can see this trench line. It goes all the way up over here, and that's where I'm going to install that a special valve system where I can have this big irrigation sprinkler running. I have those huge irrigation sprinklers that shoot like 100 feet, and it'll be watering this field, and then I can switch a valve and it'll water that. I have another one I'll put up there. I may even be able to get up to that top, but this, man, the deer are just packed in here every night, and I should have babies. I should have babies dropping pretty soon. So if you don't know, we had a raccoon infestation back on this property because no one hunts raccoons anymore. Well, we've taken, because I knew I wanted chickens, we've taken, as of yesterday, 107 raccoons off that back property. 107. Oh, it's a cute raccoon, not when there's 100 of them. And so what I'm trying to do is, raccoons, if you don't know, raccoons, if they get in your chicken house, they don't go in there and just eat an egg or kill a chicken. They'll kill every single chicken in your chicken house. So we had to get that population under control. But anyways, these fields are so lush. They're so thick. And what I did was I came up here and I cut this down. We finally had some rains. I cut this down low, and I put out my leafy greens, which is what I do for the deer. So this was clover and rye. Now I've put out turnip and radishes and brassica. And so I'll have a lot of leafy stuff. And I'm telling you, I'll have 40 deer in this one field. I'll pull up the camera. Let me explain to you the garden dilemma here. I knew I was going to be gone the whole month of May. So I was like, dude, I want to plant a garden and come back and have it crazy. So I hired a girl who actually is real knowledgeable on gardening and horticulture. But the problem is she could only come out here like 2 days a week for a couple hours. And this whole place, I'm swear to you, there were weeds that were 36 inches tall. John was even like, dude, I knew you weren't going to be happy. So I had to make a decision. And I was like, I'm not going to be happy with this garden the way it is. So we came in here and we pulled everything out of this garden. We took down all these 2x4s. We took down all the cages. We took out everything. I brought my tow behind cutter in here and I cut down this entire garden. Came in with wheat straw. We put down wheat straw. I installed a drip irrigation system. I'll show you guys that in another video. A filtration system, because I'm pumping from my well house into a drip irrigation. And I went and in one day replanted this entire garden. And it's not a big deal for me, because if we don't have a freeze, I'm actually picking produce into November here. So yes, I'm way far behind, but I just had to make a decision whether I do it or whether I don't do it. But my chicken house is going to go right here, and then the chickens will be able to free range this entire place over here. They'll free range this entire place. So yesterday they came out and I had them install an outlet, a 120 outlet right here on the fence, so that when it's in here, I've got a security camera. I have an artificial intelligence. I'll do a video on that because I put 2 of these up at the beach house. My artificial intelligent camera. And the nice thing about that is that'll actually track, and I can put a spotlight on it, and I can set an alarm. So if something comes towards my chickens, an alarm will actually go off, which is kind of nice, plus a spotlight. Mark came over. He built me a little well house over there for the well. What else? Tons of stuff going on, guys. So I don't even know what I'm going to put on video today. Maybe I'll just start today what we're doing, and then I'll sort of back it up, and I'll post some old videos of stuff. All right, so here's how I'm going to fix this lawn. Number one, I came out with a liquid fungicide. Why did I use that? Because I had it. Maybe I'll put a link to it. I put a liquid fungicide down. The rain has finally stopped. I've got about 5 hours probably of broken clouds and sun. I'm coming out here with the McLean low cut series, and I'm going to take this down pretty short. I'm going to put out 2 types of seed. I'm going to put out a Yukon and a common Bermuda. I'm going to scarify. Then I'm going to put down a little bit more. That's it. Tomorrow, what am I going to do? I'm going to wait and see what happens tonight in the thunderstorms. But I'm going to watch those weather events, and if I need to come out here and reseed, I'll reseed. The problem here, like I said, poor drainage, lots of wood chips, 1,000-gallon septic tank. I got all kinds of challenges. I've got shade, which doesn't want to let Bermuda grow. So, you know, I got spots where this rye looks beautiful, and then I got this. It almost looks like grub damage, but I dug up and there's no grub, so it's this crappy soil. Okay, so I've changed my mind again. After looking at this, now I've got, if you look closely, see I've got all these holes here. I've got all this core aeration. I've got seed down. I don't think I'm going to scarify. Normally I always do, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down the low cut one more thing and take it down to like a 1/4 of an inch cut and just let these grass clippings sort of cover up that seed because it's really fine. And then I've got today and tomorrow 50% chance of rain. It just feels like thunderstorms. So I don't think I'm going to scarify. I'm just going to let nature do its thing and just let these clippings cover it up. And then when the rain comes and the grass should germinate. We'll see. I've already got it starting in certain places. Oh, this is definitely PGA fairway height. This is sitting at about 3/8 of an inch. And now, I think what I'm going to do is, because I have so much dead brown grass on that pond front, I'm going to scalp that pond front down since I've got all kinds of rain and let that grow back in green, because right now it looks real blotchy. Just like a summer scalp, you got to clean out that brown crap. So let me show you what I mean here. It's looking fair, but I'm taking it down pretty low, and as I get really low I start to see a lot of this dead brown. Well, if I want my grass that height, I gotta go even lower. So I'm gonna drop it. I'm basically gonna do a hard scalp out here today. I got so much rain, I don't have to worry about this grass dying. So I'm going to take this. Let's see how low we can get it. I'm using the low cut series, the 2024 low cut. It'll go down to like 1/8 of an inch, all the way up to about just over 3/4. This is the highest setting, believe it or not, on this low cut series. And this is just a 7 blade, it's not my 10 blade. I'm taking it lower. I want all this brown crap gone. Destroy and fix, destroy and fix. That's what my life has been for the past 3 months. I'll walk you through it, but I am taking this down hard scalp. Get rid of a little disease, a little brown spots in here. But, okay, so I'm soaking wet. I basically cut this twice. I kept going down and kept going down. And then I went down even further. Look, if you want to have short grass and you want it to be solid green, you got to take it down. So if you want to have 1 inch grass and you're starting to see brown kind of blades coming up, you got to scalp it down to below 1/2 an inch and let it come back up. We do this all the time. I would do this 2 or 3 times a year. They do this on soccer pitches all the time. They'll come out, they'll scalp it, they'll actually cut it. They actually use a scarifier and cut it, thin it out. And then they'll keep it at, 1/4 of an inch. But man, I feel like most of this brown is gone down. When it comes up to about 1 inch, it should look green. This Scott's common Bermuda, man, it's weird. It grows sideways. It doesn't even really grow up. So this morning it was raining and I had to sit on the porch and wait for the rain to stop. Now the sun is out bright, and then in about 30 minutes, another thunder boomer is going to come through. But here's where I stand on this. I have cut this down, gosh, what is that? 3/8 of an inch. And I didn't put anything down except for Yukon. So I've got Yukon Bermuda down here because there's just certain areas that the ryegrass just isn't going to grow. So I've got Yukon down. So I'm going to have a mix of this perennial rye and this Yukon. It might look a little weird, but I'm going to keep it. Again, we came out here last week and I didn't put it on video. We did a core aeration and a spike aeration the same day to let this ground breathe. Came out, I hit it with propiconazole liquid, a fungicide. Then I put down the seed. And if I have to put down another round of fungicide, then I'll probably put down something different because you want to vary it. So hopefully this will come back now that I'm here to manage it. It's amazing how things get out of control. That's one of the biggest things, man. It's just weird when you walk away from something. Let me show you something out here real quick. First of all, this area over here, again, this is that contractor mix and the clover. And I've been hitting that with DGL, the dark green lawn, and man, it just loves it. Even though it's all shade over here, that stuff is really doing well with DGL. I still have that series to do for you guys that I will be working on, and it's sort of the prep series. We'll be talking about the solar, water, all that prep stuff that we do out here, the gardens. That is coming, but I wanted to show you this. So when, like I said, when I went away, when I left here, I told the guys to let this, don't cut it too short. Well, the problem is this got up to 3.5, and I'm down to probably 1/2 inch right now. But this is what you have to do. You have to be really aggressive with your lawn. And if you're gonna be aggressive and do something like this, now is the time. If you're gonna do a core aeration, if you're gonna do a verticut, a dethatch, if you're gonna do a scalp, I've always, if you go back and look at my videos, I've always done summer scalps. It's sort of a reboot. Just your lawn looks crappy, you're getting brown spots, cut it all down and just let it come back up. This is the time you can do it. Hit it with, you should have PGF complete down, hit it with some DGL, hit it with some DGL. That light, all fast release nitrogen really works, but man, it's so short, it's hard to grab. But this is that crazy Scott's Bermuda grass. And it really is a common Bermuda, and it sort of grows sideways. It doesn't really grow up. But we kept coming out here, we kept cutting this and kept saying, man, it just doesn't look right, just doesn't look right. It's because we had those dead brown spots in here. Now it's gonna be great. Finally, I came back and had to fix my pond. I left the pond, and when I left the pond, it was real pretty and clear. Gone for a month. Guess what? I had an algae problem build up, single cell algae, which is kind of normal. So I pounded this thing with pond dye. I put in an algae treatment and I put in beneficial bacteria, and now it's clear. And today, in the past few days, finally the bass been hit. Matter of fact, I caught a nice one today. Finally, some of these big bass are starting to hit. So anyways, guys, sorry about the crazy video. Like I said, I'll show you the drip irrigation system. I'll be showing you this this high pressure irrigation system for the fields. I'm going to show you the solar systems. I have 3 backup solar systems that I'm going to show you guys. All kinds of videos. I hope you'll subscribe, and thanks for being patient. I'll talk to you later. Doc.